Okay, guys, so let's talk about we have talked about so many services of AWS, right? We have gone through EC2. We have seen so many components in EC2. We have talked about Elastic Beanstalk, CloudWatch, S3, IAM roles, right? Policies, security group, VPC. So we have gone through so many things so far, right? So let's talk about one of the essential thing now, which is called the RDS, right? So what is RDS? RDS is one of the, you can say, essential service of database, which is called the relational database services, right? Uh, this is basically, you can call it one of the managed services of AWS itself, right? Where you can create your databases, you can create your shared databases as per your requirement, right? And fulfill your requirements here, right? So once you go to the relational database services, right, by default if you go to the dashboard, you can see here you are getting option to create the databases, right? At this moment, if you see, we do not have any database available here, right? So what I will do is I will need, any, connector also to connect with the database. So before we start this, let me download one SQL yoke or something. If you know anything, you can let me know. Anything to connect with the MySQL database or any databases. So we see here, let's take this one, 64 edition from GitHub itself. So quickly install this. We need it this to connect with the database, right? Cool now. So we have SQL available now, SQL yoke. Let's close it. Open it later on. Right. Now we are on RDS console, right? And this can be, one of the essential service so you should know here, right? When we come here, MySQL is providing you the Amazon Aura, right? It says why it is recommended for you. What is Amazon Aura? Amazon Aura is a MySQL and PostgreSQL compatible enterprise class database starting at $1 per day, right? Aura supports up to 64 TB of auto-scaling storage capacity, 6-way replication across 3 availability zone, and 15 low latency read replicas can be created, right? This is basically Aura global database. This is globally available all across the regions. You know, Aura serverless, if you need, you are going to create the serverless architecture, even you can use that. You can use the RDX proxy. This is in preview section yet, in the development section, and it has the RDS performance inside. So, they're giving quick access load on your DB and take faster action within an easy to use performance dashboard. So, a couple of things you can get it from with the Aura itself, right? So that if that's up to you if you want to use it. Otherwise, if no, that's fine for you. Here you see some databases. If you have some databases, you can get the databases from here. Do you see, guys? You have not created any database server, but it's giving you the option to create the database here, right? You can go ahead and create your databases from here itself, right? Which database you want to create, it is available here. So let's go back one more time, right? Here, SQL query editor. We don't have any query, but you can edit your queries from here. Performance inside, you can take the snapshot, automated backup, reverse. We will talk about those, right? Here, subnet group, right? Parameter group, so many things are here. So first we have to create one database here. It says create a database or restore from S3. If you have some databases available in the S3, you can also restore from there. So we are going to create our fresh database here. So let's go ahead and create database. So when you go ahead and create the databases, it says choose a database creation method. Which method you need? Standard create or easy create? When we say standard, you set all the configuration option, including one for availability, security backups, and maintenance. If you go with this, that means you provide everything, security groups, whether you want to take backup or not, what would be the maintenance things, each and everything you'll have to specify. But if you go with the easy create, what will happen is use recommended best practice configuration. Some configuration option can be changed after the database is created. However, you know, this is the best practice they are by default providing, right? But even you have option to choose couple of. So totally up to you which of the method you would like to use, easy create or standard create. So let's go ahead with the standard create, we would say now. The next is engine option, right? Which engine you would like to take? Are you going to take Amazon Aura, MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Oracle, SQL Server? Again, guys, the benefit of using this RDS, right? If I talk, what is the benefit of using this RDS, right? Let's say if I going to use the Oracle, right? And I stop using Oracle in a 1 month. But if I do in-house, I start using the in-house Oracle, and I don't need it after 1 month, then what will happen? I'll waste the license for 1 year and even the support cost, right? But if you go with the cloud, guys, if you are using it for a 1 month, that's fine. If you have one licenses and you need to use it for a 1 month, you will get 1 month cost only, right? You don't have to worry or invest your cost for a year, right? So this is couple of benefits which you can get cloud from itself, right? Let's say I will use the MySQL here, right? When you choose the MySQL here, it's basically a community edition, right? Which version of the MySQL you are looking for? In the same way, if you are looking for any other like Oracle database something, it will ask you Enterprise Edition, Oracle Standard Edition, which edition you are looking for and which version you are looking for, right? You can choose based on your requirement and that has been requested. So let's go with the MySQL itself first and scroll it down. Choose the version you are looking for, right? We'll have couple of version available here. Right, whatever the version you need, go ahead and use it. Let's say I am going to use the latest version here, right? Come down now. It says no non-issues limitation. If you want to see non-issues and limitation here, go here and see it, right? You'll get all the details of that this version. The next, guys, it shows one template, right? Are you going to use it a production, dev test or free tier? It says use default for high availability and fast consistent performance. If you need more performance, then go with this. If this is for a dev test, use this. This instance is intended for the development use outside for the production environment. Right? If you go with the free tier, that means use free tier to develop new application, test existing application or gain hands-on experience with the Amazon RDS, right? So based on your requirement, take the instances and you'll be charged accordingly. So let's go ahead with the free tier at this moment and give the database name here. What database name you are going to give here, right? It's basically the DB instance identifier, right? I will call it AWS class DB, right? So what master username you would like to keep? It says by default would be admin. And if you can, can generate the auto password or you can use the uh, the password you would like to create. So I will put one password here, right? The next is DB instance size. What size you are looking for? DB instance class, standard class, memory optimized class, and breastable class, right? You see, couple of classes are disabled for us because we are here free tier, and let's use the production and see. It may be still our account is free tier, right? So let's see if they are giving this to us. So you can see now if I use that, They give us all the classes, right? Standard classes include M class, memory. So here you can see if you go to this standard class, you'll be able to see all the large instances, 4 virtual CPU, 16 gig memory, right? 94 virtual CPUs and 384 GB memory, right? So you will see a larger instance here too for your requirements. In the same way, if you go with the memory optimized, so here are the memory optimized, disk, which is going beyond 800 GB, right? 768 GB with the 96 virtual CPU. So you can choose those according to the needs and requirement. Again, the last is include T class, right? And these are called the breastable classes. In breastable classes, you can see, it can go beyond the, you can say, the limit has been specified, but maximum you will see, you will get the 8 virtual CPUs and 32 GB of memory here, right? So that's up to you which you would like to take, guys, right? Depending on your requirements, right? Let's say you use the production itself and you are going to use this one only, right? One virtual CPU and one gig of memory, which is macro instance. Now, if you come down now, you will see more option here like storage type. Which type of storage you need? You need the general purpose IOPS or SSD. You know the difference between the general purpose IOPS and general purpose SSD, right? When we talk about general IOPS, provisioned IOPS, what is the difference between general purpose and provisioned IOPS? The general purpose is basically cheaper, right? That gives the optimal performance, right? But if you have more IO, right, more read write in your operation are going on, if you need very less latencies, then you do not use it. You go with the provisioned IAS, which is called the, provisioned IOPS, right, which gives you the more flexibility, more input output, right, and more read write speed than the general purpose ISD, but would be costlier than the general purpose ISD. But if you need more speed, you know go with it where you do not need the latencies, right? You can allocate storage here. Let's say I use the 10 and I will use the 10 into 50. And let's give it 500 here, right? So let's give the 500 IOPS. I think this is more. It should be 500, I guess. It is taking, let's take 1000. Supports provision storage for 100 GB only. Okay, it is supporting 100 GB IOPS. I think that's the problem. So let's take the general purpose first here for this practice, right? So come down now. So it has allocated 10 GB now. So the next is storage auto scaling, right? You don't have to worry about the auto scaling here also, right? You are going here with the 10 GB, but if you think your storage capacity can need to be extended, here you can increase it. Let's say you say I'm take going with the 10 GB and maximum it should go by 100 GB. So whenever you need the space, your storage will be automatically extended here. So this is one of the another additional benefit of using it. The next is, and very essential, guys, is availability and durability, right? When we talk about availability, it provides you the two kind of instances. One is called the multi-AG deployments or a standby instance, right? If you go with the multi-AZ, right? Most of the time the people may ask you the in the interview also, what is multi-AZ deployment? What is the multi-AZ RDS deployment, right? Then this is what is used for the production. What it will do is it will create one additional standby instance for you, right? If you go here info, you will be able to see that Select create replica in a different zone to have Amazon RDS maintain a synchronous standby replica in a different availability zone than the DB instance, right? Amazon RDS will automatically fail over to the standby in case of the planned or unplanned outage of the primary. So they recommend you to create, if you use this multi-AG, so it will create one standby replica in the different region. So if there is any planned, unplanned, and any outage in your, with your instance, so that standby instance would provide you the support, right? Would provide you the services. But if you don't want that, go ahead and do it. Do not create a standby instance. So just go ahead and create this in a multi-agent deployment, right? So what it will do is it will create one standby replica in a different availability zone for us, right? To provide the data redundancy and eliminate IO freeze and minimize the latency spike during the system backup also, right? So that's the one benefit we are going to get with the multi-AG. Remember it. This is most basically asked question. So now come down. The another thing is connectivity, right? If you have created any VPC, go ahead and select it. Otherwise, you can go with the default one. So I will go with the default one at this moment, right? That's what we were starting here. It was asking for you create easy way and standard, right? If you would have taken easy, so we don't have to do fill up those all things here. So let's come down. Okay, so we are going with the default PPC at this moment. Database authentication, password with IAM database authentication. How you want to authenticate? At this moment, let's say we are going with the password authentication. If you want the password and IAM, you'll have to add the IAM roles also, right? We can do also Kerb roles, but I think this is not available for this version. So let's go with the password authentication at this moment. Here you will see some additional configuration, right? You can start monitoring your instance, right? What will be the initial database name, which is right additional, right? If you want to keep it, let's say what will be your database name? I would call it Shaker, right? DB parameters, some default parameters here, which are option group. The next is backup. Enable backup, automatic backup if you want to take the automatic backup. And what will be the retention policy? You guys already know about retention, right? After how many days the backup will be deleted automatically, right? So you can put those backup policies here too, right? You can select the window also when your backup should start. If no preferences, it will start talking automatically. If you want to copy tag to the snapshot, also if you come down, it will give you the, if you want to monitor it, if you want to add it to the CloudWatch, so you can go ahead and enhance your monitoring from here, right? It says granularity for space. Let's say if you say in for a 5 second, 10 second and 60 second, whatever time is default rule. If you want to create some rules also, you can create it further. What logs you would like to export in the CloudWatch, error, journal logs and slow queries. If you want to import all those roles to the CloudWatch, you can do it also. So I will not do it now, right? If you would like to see, then you can do it. You will see the logs in the CloudWatch and trails, right? The next is maintenance. Last is enable auto minor version upgrade. It's if you want automatically the micro, AWS should do the version upgrade for you. They will do it automatically for you, right? If you take it enable. If you don't, then it will not. Next is maintenance window. That means when you would like to put the maintenance, right? You can select the windows. If you don't give the preferences, if activity going on, they will perform the activity upgradation and something. Otherwise, select the period you want pending modification or maintenance applied to the database by the Amazon RDS, right? So if you have some time where you can take the maintenance, go ahead and specify it, right? Otherwise, they're gonna apply it for you, right? Next, the delete protection. If you would enable the delete protection, so nobody would be able to delete it. And the monthly cost of this would be 127.12 USD dollar. right? So remove the delete protection. I will not give any preferences for now. Okay. Let it enable the monitoring. I'll not enable the backup, right? So come down now. Go ahead and create this instance. ATM iOS user. So you can see the instance creation has been started. It says the status is creating. You can click on this DB identifier name, which we have given AWS class DB, right? Identifier you can see here. Role is instance. CPU is still not visible. Info is creating. The class of this is regional and easy. You can see the configuration here. Endpoints is still no endpoints here. When everything will be created, you will see the endpoints here. Networking, this is the VPC where it has been connected, and these are the subnets. And this is the subnet in which it has been created, and this is the security group that has been associated with it, which is the default. And this is publicly accessible at this moment. Remember this also. So you'll have to like procure and secure this also with the security group, right? No security groups rules are has yet here, and replication is nothing. It will show in some time. You can see the replication instance is here also, right? AWS DB instance. But once it will be created, you'll be able to see it now in some time. So still this is creating, so it might take few minutes to launch everything. So now you can see guys, couple of things has been added here, right? You can see DB identifier, you can see the CPU usage now, instance role currently active, still it is modifying, right? And you can see now this is in regional and AZ, and this has been launched in 1C. Now you see endpoints are there now, right, with the ports, and you can see the security groups are active now also. If you see here, now you can see the security group is available. Inbound rule, everything is open at this moment for publicly, but you will never do it in the prod. Remember this. And still one replica is there. So this is the standby replica would be created whenever there are some issue with this, primary replica, then this replica will work. So still you can see this is creating. So this takes some much time, right? Still have to be, you'll have to keep some patience. So now you can see instance is up, right? Instance has been successfully created, which is up and running now. So if you create in the instance here, you see all the detail now, right? So most of the things are available here. Now you can see the endpoints also, right? And we have one standby replica is available also here, right? In case of any issues, so this replica will help us, right? You can go to the monitoring section here, right? And you can see CPU utilization, DB connections, everything, free storage space, right? Memory, write IOPS, read IOPS. You can see everything here. You can go to the log events, right? You can create the alarms here also if you need. Otherwise, you will see here recent event, DB instance restarted, created, whatever what has happened. You can see from here, right? And you can also see the logs here, right? MySQL runtime log, error logs, and MySQL upgrade log. And these three kind of logs you will see here. Those you will see in the CloudWatch as well. You can go to the configuration if you want to make some changes. Couple of things here, right? Automatic backup is running also, right? So you can see all the configuration from here. You can go to the maintenance and backup as well and see, maintenance is disabled. We didn't run it, which is in pending state yet. If you want to add and create, you can do it again, right? Backup and snapshot status you can see from here, right? We have not taken the backup and snapshots as well, so we are good. If you want to modify something, go ahead and delete it, take snapshot, anything you want to do you can do also. right? I think you can take the snapshot from here too. So now let's go to database again, and let's try to connect the database now. Right, so this is the endpoint. So you have so many way you can give this to developer. Right, this is the endpoint. You can connect with database. If you want to see this, if the connectivity in perspective of connectivity and something, you can open your SQL yoke or whatever things you have. You can create new connection. I would call it database. All right, go ahead and click OK. What is the address? So my address is, this is my endpoint and this is my address where I would like to connect, and my user was root and my password was this, right? Port was 3306 and database was Shaker. Right, I can go ahead and click on test connection and see if I'm able to connect with this. Right, if you're not able to connect, so you'll have to have do some troubleshooting why you're not able to connect it. Some port issue, something is blocking, right? You can see from here itself. It says can't connect to MySQL on this. Okay, let me see why. 3306. User was admin. Have I pasted twice? Okay, let's give one more try. Okay, it says error number 3220 can't connect to MySQL this. Okay, so first go to security group here and see anything is blocking. This is public accessibility, no. Right, so you'll be able to access those from couple, from wherever you would like to do it. But for now, for a testing, I would like to access this from anywhere. So let's go ahead and add it. Custom rule says all traffic is okay already. Let's cancel this. Well, let's re-verify that once. Public accessibility says no. Okay, let's see if you can modify this. Okay, AWS TV identifier, new master password, new AWS password. I'm going to get the same. Security I would the same. I will ask it to give the public accessibility for now, so that I could access it from outside. I selected no last time. That's what DB instance will not have public IP address assigned to EC2 instance or device outside of the VPC will be able to connect. Right. So this was the problem. That's what I was not able to access it. So let's go ahead and continue again. Modify the instance. So this looks good now. Now go back here. Go to the connectivity and take the endpoint again and see if this has associated the IP address. Still I see public accessibilities. No. Let me- So we'll have to wait for some time. If you see here, it is showing the status as modifying. That's why still we see our instance is in. Yep, now it just came public, yes, right? So I should be able to access it now. Let's go ahead and do the connectivity test again. Again, no. I think still this is like resetting our master credential, so still we'll have to wait for a while. Yep, it's available now, so let's go ahead and re-verify it again. So let's go to instance back, take the endpoint, it's 3306. Okay, paste it. The user was admin and the password was non-star. Shaker was my DB that I created. So let's go ahead and do the connect. You can see now the connection was successful with MySQL this. Go ahead and click on connect. Yes, save the password too. Now guys, do you see like you have successfully connected with this database now? Right, you can see table, views, store procedures, function, even data, anything. Even if you want to import any data, right, put any data, you can go ahead and do it here. Right, so you have, capability to do the things from here itself. Right, this is one way you can connect to your database, verify your data, import data, export data, everything. The another way would be you just create one instance, you make the connectivity between those instances and directly access from those private instance to, to these MySQL instances from where you would like to do it. We have just done this from, our we have made it public and we tried accessing it. But when you will have working on a prod, then you will not make it public. Then what you will do is from your web server and DB server, you will make one security group which will have access to this security group, right? And you will be accessing them from that specific server only, or you will have some VPN tunnels to access, the MySQL directly from your machines.